know that you did an interview with the Breakfast Club, and on it there was some kind of tidbit about Akon not being the one that discovered Gaga. And I kind of wanted to talk to you about that a little bit, because I think the perception that the world has is that he's the one that discovered her, but you were saying
Well, Gaga just set the record straight herself, just on Twitter the other day. You know, she said when Vincent discovered me and signed me, Tamar and I have been really good friends since then. That was like 4.5, 5 years ago, so there's nothing else for me to say. Honestly, it takes a while to figure that relationship out, because it is a very unique position to be in. Vincent and I definitely had to find our way. So, you know, when we were on Tamar and Vince, and you see us bickering and arguing about silly things, it could very well be about something that's big or something that's about business. So we had to figure that out, and that we got that help through counseling. And you know, you just kind of have to find your own way in your relationship. In our relationship, we work together. I wouldn't want it any other way, and neither would he. So you have to find your way in that.
Are you guys still going through counseling together, or?
We definitely sporadically go, because I do think it's necessary. You know, you don't have the answers to everything, you know, so it's sometimes nice to go and to sit down with somebody else who has an unbiased opinion, so that way you can set the record straight with each other and move on to the next. I don't know where that came from. You know, I think because we sold our house. Mm-hmm. You know, we put our house on the market, and a lot of people were like, well, they're arguing on the show and they're selling their house, so that means you're getting divorced. No, it does not mean you're getting divorced. You know, in most marriages, I know mine, I have a real marriage, I have a real relationship. There are arguments. You know, there are petty things that we argue over, and there are also serious things that we argue over. And, you know, I just think people forget with watching TV that this is your life too. You know, you argue about silly things as well. Maybe not as much, you know, maybe not about the same things, but you do argue, and you just have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay, that's me too.
Do you even forget that the cameras are around?
Yeah, they become a piece of furniture. It's like, you know, tables, lamps, chairs. I don't even really think about them anymore.
So, with the new single coming out, I'm expecting an album sometime soon.
Yeah, and the album comes out in February.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is there going to be like a little tour that you're going to be doing? Because I know people always, my fans, or fan questions, not my fans, but fan questions are, you know, when is she going to have a baby?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know, why is everybody rushing me to have a baby? I think when it's time, I will. Vince and I did go through IVF after he got sick, you know, because we wasn't sure about, you know, what the medication was going to do to his body. Mm-hmm. We're not getting any younger, so we just decided that we were going to go through the IVF, and we have kids that are in the freezer, and when we're ready for them, we'll go get them.
What did you call them? Popsicle babies?
Popsicle babies. They're not bothering anybody. They're well and intact.
So I know that your single Love and War went #1 on iTunes in 24 hours.
Well, it's actually 12 hours.
12 hours, my mistake. 12
yes,
hours.
okay.
And I know you beat out Alicia Keys and Rihanna.
And Taylor Swift and Bruno Mars. And
so
yeah.
How did she feel when she heard that?
I was just excited, you know. I just remember when the download came out. It was about 12 o'clock at night, LA time, and I was just excited that it actually came out. And I went to bed, and I woke up, and it was #1 on both charts, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing.
And I was hearing that was with little to no real promotion, other than just like, you know, Twitter and the web. And
well, I didn't get a chance to promote it, you know. Like I said, it was like at midnight, and so I just put out a reminder on Twitter. But before I did that, my Twitter was already blowing up, so that's what reminded me, like, oh, okay. Like I was just like, okay, download it, it's great. And I just sent out a tweet, and then when I woke up, it was #1. But I don't think that's what did it. I just think that people were excited to hear great music.
That's pretty cool. Do you think that being Toni Braxton's sister has any bearing on how your single is doing?
No, I don't. You know, I do think that I worked really hard on this album and all of my material, and I wasn't willing to compromise, you know, the sound that I wanted. You know, it was a very distinct sound that I felt like I was definitely trying to create. I wasn't trying to sound like anybody else. As a matter of fact, I worked harder not to sound like my siblings. But, you know, we have the same DNA, and sometimes we come out sounding just alike. And I don't think people are even thinking about the fact that I'm Toni's sister. I just think they think about that I'm Tamar.